Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. We got a special video. I am announcing my tax services. That's right. If you need your 2023 tax return or any other year prepared, I'm the man to do it for you. Who am I? Well, here's me, handsome, with my son, Alan, who's conveniently actually named after me. Who am I? I'm the owner of Strongman CPA LLC. This is my LLC registered in the state of Virginia. I am a fully digital, veteran-owned accounting and tax preparation business. I'm a certified public accountant, licensed in the state of Virginia. I've been licensed since 2019. I've got 7+ years of accounting and tax preparation experience and diverse, very important word, experience in government, private, and public accounting. Now, government accounting, I worked at NASA. Private accounting is my current full-time job where I work for a local company. I'm not going to say which one. And public accounting, which is what you traditionally think of most accounting firms are, like doing taxes, auditing, etc., etc. My specialty is in taxation. I do not have any auditing experience. What I do, I prepare many different tax forms. I do 1040s, which is your standard individual tax return. I do 1120Ss, that's your S corporation. If you want to inquire about that, we can talk about more of that one-on-one. I do 1065s if you have a partnership. I do 1120s. Those are C corporations, what you think of, normal big companies. I do bookkeeping, and I only do U.S. tax returns. Even though I'm a CPA, I do not know anything about Canada. I don't know anything about Mexico. I don't know anything about European taxes. I only do U.S. tax returns. All states in the United States are welcome. I'm in Virginia, but trust me, I can figure out your taxes anywhere in the United States. I have the majority of my experiences with Virginia tax returns and with California tax returns, but it's not hard to figure out other states as well. What I don't do, first of all, I don't do trusts. I honestly don't have enough knowledge or competence at this point to do trusts because I just haven't done them. So if you receive like a K-1 or you receive something from a trust, I can do that on your individual tax return. But if you actually want me to prepare a trust tax return, I cannot do that. Next, we have 1099 generation. Now, whenever you do your taxes, you're going to be receiving 1099s. That is not a problem. If you receive a 1099 for any reason, I can help or use that to prepare your tax return. But actually generating them, making them, which is a service some CPA firms provide, I can do that, but at this point, I'm not doing it. The deadline's coming up pretty soon anyway. This will be something I'll explore in the future, but right now, I am not generating 1099s. I just want to focus on tax return preparation. So don't be confused. If you receive a 1099, that is not a problem whatsoever. It's making them. Next, employee retention tax credits. Now, this is something that if your firm has employees during, I think, 2020, 2021, this is a potential tax credit that you can qualify for. I am currently not doing that. There's a lot of IRS attention on them, and I personally think there's a lot of fraud going on, and I don't want to have anything to do with employee retention tax credits. So if you have a business and you're really interested or you heard about your friends all doing this, I'm not doing it. And finally, I don't guarantee refund amounts. If I prepare your taxes, I'm going to do that in accordance with the law, and if you're not happy with the results, well, I did it properly, I'm sorry. I am not guaranteeing a refund. And a lot of times, you may not get a refund because you may have underpaid your tax liability, and there's nothing I could do about that. The process. How does this all work? Well, if you are interested in me preparing your tax return, the first thing we will do is a free 30-minute video conference initial consultation, and we'll go in more detail about what we're going to do with each one of these steps. After that, I will send you an engagement letter. I will send you a retainer. You will have to pay a retainer before I start your tax return. I will send you a client organizer, and you will give me your prior year tax return. You will also receive a Dropbox link, which is just a file that you and I can access that you will upload all of your stuff to. Next, you will upload all of your documents to the secure Dropbox link. Once I have all your tax forms, and you've signed your engagement letter, and you've paid your retainer, and you filled out your client organizer, and you've uploaded your prior year tax return, then I can go ahead and start preparing your taxes. Once your taxes are complete, I will tell you they are ready. Now, you may owe additional money. I want to be clear about this. The upfront quote is my estimate of how much it's going to cost to prepare your tax return. It may take me less time, and if that's the case, I'll potentially refund your retainer. If it takes more time because you didn't tell me you have a bunch of other stuff, it's going to cost you more money. So when we first meet, please be upfront about your entire tax situation. I'll also be able to look through your prior year tax return, so if we miss talking about something, I can bring that up and potentially have to increase the quote. We'll see. Finally, I'll do a 10-minute video going over your tax return. So it'll be completed, I'll go over it, I'll film it, I'll upload it to the Dropbox link, and I'll just basically kind of explain everything that's going on so you have a good idea. And you can watch the video, it'll always be there. Once that's good, you've paid everything that's due, I will send you e-file authorizations for signature, you sign them, and then I submit your tax return. So let's go in a little bit more detail step by step. So the first step is a free 30-minute video conference initial consultation. So you email me, we set up a time to meet, we meet on Google Meet. All I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to take notes, I'm going to learn your tax situation, I'm going to re-explain the process, answer any questions you have, and then during that meeting I will give you an upfront quote. Your tax return will cost potentially $500, assuming there are no additional things that you forgot to mention. That's all the video conference is, and you will not be charged for this. Next, we have to talk about the engagement letter, the retainer, the client prepare, the prior year tax return, and the Dropbox link. So an engagement letter is a formal agreement between you and I. You will receive this in your email, and it will be in your Dropbox file, which you will read, please, and then you will sign it at the bottom. I need to have this signed before I start your tax return. Next, I will quote a retainer, which is an upfront fee I will collect for preparing your tax return. Already talked about this. If you're hiding stuff from me or I find more stuff, yes, it may cost you more money. But if I finish your tax return way faster, I will refund part of your upfront fee. Next, there will be a client organizer, which is basically this huge list that that has everything that you may possibly need for your tax situation. It'll have, you'll fill it out, you'll put your name in there, what your business is, how many W-2s you received, how much you received. It basically tells me everything that about your tax situation. So you'll fill that out, and that'll be in your Dropbox. You can download it, scan it, and then re-upload it. And that helps me really understand your tax situation. You'll also give me your prior year tax return. Now, I really need that because I need to see if you have any carryovers, et cetera, and it really helps me understand what your current tax situation is. So with the prior year tax return and the client organizer and the interview, I'll be pretty confident with your tax situation, and I can use that to prepare your current year tax return. I need the prior year tax return. And then finally, you'll get the Dropbox link. We've talked about this. All your stuff will be in there. You can upload all your documents there. Do not email me sensitive documents. Upload them all to the Dropbox link. So, after that, like we just said, you will upload all your documents as you receive them, scan them in to your Dropbox link. I want to minimize paper as much as possible. I want to be as fully digital as possible. You don't need to email me every time you put a new document in there. I can see, I get a notification when you upload stuff, so you don't have to tell me. When everything's in there, then you can tell me, hey, Chris, everything has been uploaded. That's all I expect to receive. Go ahead. You're good to prepare my tax return. I'll also check that on your prior year tax return just to make sure, but you don't need to email me every single time. Please don't do that. It clogs up my inbox, and it really slows me down. And finally, I will contact you if I'm missing any items, and I'll have a general idea of what you need to give me because I have all the information that you gave me prior. Next, I will prepare your tax return. So I use a software called Intuit Pro Connect. I've used other softwares, but this one is a little bit better in my opinion. So I'll prepare your tax return. I will not start it until you've signed the engagement letter, you've paid me my upfront fee, and you filled out the prepare and given me your prior year tax returns. I will prioritize tax returns as they are received. So if you give me your stuff last minute, I'm sorry, but there's people that gave me their stuff earlier and on time, and they're going to be prioritized. Extensions. For pass-through entities, I'm going to go ahead and just file an extension on 29 February 2024. And for individuals, if I don't have all your stuff, but you paid everything, you've signed everything, I will file your extension 31 March. Now, be mindful, an extension, you can file an extension, but the tax that you owe has to be paid before the deadline. So you can't just extend and not pay the taxes that are due. The extension allows you to extend filing your tax return, but the tax is due when the tax is due on the deadline. So if I file an extension, you may receive an email from me saying, hey, you owe money. You got to pay now before the deadline. So don't be surprised if that happens to you. Finally, once I finish your tax return, I will collect any amounts that are due. Like I said, if it doesn't take me that long, I'll refund you. But if a bunch of stuff pops up and you keep, oh, I forgot this. Oh, what about this? Hey, I got this as well. It may cost you more money. So please be as upfront as possible about your tax situation. Then we'll do the 10-minute video. I'll just film it, go over your tax return, put it in your Dropbox link. Hopefully that'll preempt a lot of questions. This will be at no additional cost to you. Then, when everything's good, we're both happy, I will send you for signature an e-file authorization. This basically authorizes me to file your taxes on your behalf. So you will have to sign this for the federal government and for a state, if you have a state tax return, before I can file your taxes. Then I will submit your tax return. I will upload a completed copy of the tax return to your Dropbox, and I will retain all copies of your documentation for 7 years. So, once that's all done, we are all happy. Your taxes are filed, and we are best buddies now, as you as my client and me as your tax preparer. If you have any questions, email me at strongmantax@gmail.com to book a free consultation now. Hopefully this presentation has clarified things. You can always email me if you have any other questions, and I look forward to working with you.